Cairo's heat was relentless, a suffocating blanket over the ancient city. Dr. Yehia Rashid felt it most keenly as he stepped through the imposing gates of Abeja Mental Health Hospital. 5 years he'd stayed away, 5 years since tragedy had shattered his life and driven him from these very halls. His heart pounded, a drumbeat of dread against his ribs. He wasn't ready to be back, not really, but his profession called, his duty. Abasia had always held an unsettling energy, a weight of untold stories echoing within its aging walls. Today that energy felt amplified, a discordant hum that set his teeth on edge. He was no stranger to the darkness the human mind could harbor, but today, it felt different, personal. Taking a deep breath, he pushed the heavy doors open and stepped inside. The smell of disinfectant and despair washed over him, chilling him to the bone. He was home. He moved through the familiar corridors, each step a journey back to a past he'd tried so hard to outrun. The faces of former patients, their laughter and tears, flickered through his memory, ghosts in the flickering fluorescent lights. He'd dedicated his life to understanding the complexities of the human mind, to unraveling the mysteries of madness. But some mysteries, he'd learned, were better left buried, some doors best left unopened. Today, however, he had no choice. He was here for a reason, a new case that chilled him to the core, a patient unlike any he'd encountered before, a name that echoed through the corridors of his own past, Sharif El-Kordi. The room was small, sterile, and bathed in the harsh glare of fluorescent lights. In the center, strapped to a metal chair, sat a figure Yehia knew better than he knew himself, Sharif El-Kordi, his oldest friend, his brother in all but blood, but the man before him, eyes vacant, face gaunt and pale, bore little resemblance to the vibrant, life-loving Sharif he'd known. "Sharif?" Yehia whispered, his voice catching in his throat. The figure in the chair didn't react. He might as well have been speaking to a ghost. It was as if Sharif's soul had fled, leaving behind a hollow shell, a stranger wearing his friend's face. The sight sent a cold spear of fear piercing through Yehia's heart. Memories flooded back, vivid and painful. Childhood adventures, sharing secrets whispered under the starlit Cairo sky, the unwavering bond they'd forged. They'd been inseparable, two halves of a whole. And now, here Sharif was, lost in the labyrinth of his own mind, accused of a crime so heinous, so utterly out of character, that Yehia refused to believe it. Murder. He scanned the file again, searching for an answer, a sliver of the friend he knew hidden within the clinical jargon and chilling descriptions. Sharif, accused of brutally killing his own wife, a woman he adored with a passion that had always amazed Yehia. It was impossible. And yet, here he was, staring at the alleged perpetrator, his friend, his brother, lost. Days turned into weeks as Yehia delved into Sharif's case, each passing hour deepening the mystery surrounding the crime. The police were convinced of Sharif's guilt, the evidence circumstantial but damning. But Yehia saw something else in Sharif's eyes, a terrifying blankness that spoke of forces beyond the realm of rational explanation. The deeper he dug, the more he uncovered unsettling details. Witnesses spoke of strange symbols found at the crime scene, whispers of dark rituals and the pungent aroma of incense clinging to the air. The rational part of Yehia, the scientist, dismissed it as superstitious nonsense. But a primal fear, a gnawing unease whispered in the back of his mind. Something wasn't right. He studied the symbols, deciphering their meaning from dusty tomes on ancient Egyptian lore and forbidden texts on the occult. Each symbol spoke of powers beyond human comprehension, of entities that lurked in the shadows, hungry to claim human souls. Superstition, he told himself, pushing down the rising terror. But the symbols held a chilling familiarity, a resonance that seemed to vibrate within his very bones. And then there was the matter of the blue pills. Empty vials littered Sharif's apartment, each one containing the residue of a powerful hallucinogen known only as the blue elephant. The drug, rumored to unlock hidden dimensions of the mind, to blur the lines between reality and nightmare, filled Yehia with a sense of creeping dread. Had Sharif willingly opened his mind to such forces? And if so, what had he unleashed?